Welcome to Collecting Chaos and the Eternal Mylite project. Now, recently I purchased a quantity of Valiant comics. Yeah. And I thought it might be a good idea if I gathered up all the Valiant comics that I have in my collection and put them all together. Right, Delco? Is that a good idea? Oh, okay. So I started going through comics, and while I did this, I started discovering comics that I either had forgotten that I owned, or forgotten that they even existed. And I gathered up some of them today to show you. So what I want you to do is make sure your hands are clean, of course. Go get yourself a cup of coffee or a soft drink or whatever you happen to prefer. Kick back and watch the video as I go through some comics that I wasn't even sure I owned or existed. So we're going to start out with a comic from a company that they got kind of started in the 80s, and they were publishing books like Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers Adventures, stuff like that. It's a little company that really nobody even thought about it. It wasn't really on the map until they published around 1992, I think it was, a comic called Harbinger. And of course I'm talking about Valiant. Now Valiant went on for a while, and then they kind of dropped the Valiant tag and started calling it Acclaim Valiant. And that's where this comic that I'm going to show you comes in. And this is one of those ones that I forgot existed. Trinity Angels. And there's Trinity Angels #1. Make sure I got a good focus on it. And of course I have the alternate cover. The artwork is typical for Acclaim Valiant at the time, and it was pretty good. The story is not that great. And there's #2. Like I said, pretty typical Valiant art for the time. And I have #3. And #4 and #5. And I'm missing #6, but I do have #7, which is a pretty awesome cover, and could easily become a cover of the week if I didn't, if it was something new to me. But this was part of the black hole that is my collection, and so yeah, it's not new. I just forgot that they existed. 10 and 11. So that's the first run of comics that I forgot existed. And they're Acclaim Valiant. So yeah, I'm going to put all of those together, and some of them I will eventually offer up for sale. Some of them I won't. Yeah. Next, there's another company, and this one was famous for a character called She, and that was of course Crusade, and Billy Tucci was the president, and he came out with a comic called Tomo, and Tomo was like a precursor to She, the Way of the Warrior. Of course it has beautiful Tucci art in it. Well, this is Amanda Connor here, but it's still good stuff. Some of her best work. Here's a copy of 1B. This was a fan appreciation edition. I can't find my other #1. I'm sure I have one somewhere. There's a Tucci art. And of course that's a Tucci cover. Here's #2. It's a Connor cover. I believe it was Amanda Connor that did that. I could be wrong. I have been wrong in the past, just not very often. But this is still kind of, for the most part, it's mainstream stuff. And this came out in around 1995. So, and this one has a backup story in it. Crusade special preview with Barry Orkin and Peter Palmiotti. But really nice artwork. And then there was the Tomo Unforgettable Fire. And like I said, these are ones that I forgot that I had. I kind of knew they existed. I just forgot they had. And this one is supposed to predate the She series. The next thing I have that I forgot, now this I flat forgot existed, was The Art of Kirk Lindo. And of course, Kirk Lindo had his own comic. It was called The Vampirus Luxura, and it was from Brainstorm Comics. And incredible artist. Underrated artist, I think. I have to be careful about the pages I show, but as you can see, this is really nice stuff. Good stuff. And I knew I had some Vampirus Luxura comics around. I didn't realize I had the Art of Kirk Lindo book, much less that I would have the sketch cover. And this one I left in the plastic because it's got his signature on it, on the certificate. So that's kind of cool. Now this one I kind of forgot existed. Probably should have kept forgetting it existed. And I have several copies of this, but I only pulled out one. And this is Tribal Force. And the artwork's not too bad. As I remember, the story was terrible. I think they were paying the guy that wrote it by the word. But yeah, it's not bad. And then this one, Shards. I forgot that this one existed, and it has two covers, flips, but it's not a flip book because the story, there's only one story. Again, artwork's not bad. It's a black and white. I will be honest, I don't know about how good the story is because I've never read the story in this. But it's by David Millar. And this next one, Postmodern Angst. And yeah, if you've never, I mean, it's a fun it's a fun read. It's worth getting if you happen to find it. And of course, this one's autographed by the creator. So, I forgot that I had that. I forgot that it existed, to be honest with you. Here's another one that I forgot existed. Shadowhawk Vampirella, Creatures of the Night. Beautiful Texaria cover. Jim Valentino art and story. I would love to see a Vampirella book that's just drawn by Jim Valentino. That would be incredible, because I love his rendition of Vampirella. So, there you go. This one I kind of wished I had forgotten existed, although the artwork looks very reminiscent of someone that we all know and enjoy, but it isn't. John Cleary is the artist on this, as well as the writer, penciler, inker. He pretty much did all the work, but he's I don't know if he ever did anything else, but as far as the artwork goes, he should be working if he's not. And I have both covers to that one, with cover A and cover B. And that was by Lightning Comics, small press. Here's Street Fighter #1, not the Street Fighter you're thinking of, Ocean Comics. It's a full color. Penciler Gary Cato and inks by Sepe McFarlane. And it's kind of a, it's almost an Archie kind of style, but I like it. And there were 4 issues. And I have all 4 of them. So this is going to get put into Mylar and go into my collection. It's something you might try to find. Good luck finding it. This is from 1987. Then from Slave Labor Graphics, also from 1987, we have Suburban High Life #1. Just an oddball anthology book that had most of it. I guess it was okay, but then when you get to the last story, or one of the next to the last story, Uncle Fester Under Pressure. That's nice artwork, and it pretty much nails the characters. And here's one we should have forgotten about, but we didn't. This is a Solson publication, The Sultry Teenage Super Foxes. Wojciechowicz and Buckler. Rich Buckler actually created with Chuck Wojciechowicz. Wojciechowicz, whatever his name is. I don't want to butcher it any more than I have already. But yeah, nice art, black and white. Another book that I forgot existed. And finally, the book that probably never should have been made. Because sometimes 2 just aren't enough. I'll let that soak in for a minute. Let's go through the introduction, shall we? Malady and disease. The world has suffered one thunderous blow of an unspeakable presence that dwells in the air. I feared this day would come. Young men suffering, so great the pain that those who live would envy the dead. I must go now. And of course the guy's climbing down. First panel, he's in the sewer. Second panel, turn slowly, doctor, hands where I can see them. Why, of course, quick death. Kazath! And obviously blows the guy's brains out. Spaffat is the word that he uses. Spaffat! What the heck is a spaffat anyway? Damn, Dr. Emesis, brother. Yet there was no other recourse. I'm sorry, my son, your blood was spilled so that others may live. It is possible that the sewers are flooded with more of Mara's agents. 3 shall do the trick. Time for more bloodshed. And we turn the page. Plop. Have you heard the news, doctor? The time has come for you to go. Oh, really? Well, I have some news for you. Extremely shocking news. 'Cause that, yeah, he gets shocked. Transmit signal to Mystic Alliance. Time is running out. Next page. Space, time, the ultimate mystery. 4 dimensions, several dimensions. To travel light years improbable. Heaven's net cast wide, though its meshes are coarse. And we turn the page. Shows a sleeping, could be like a sleeping beauty, we don't know. Nothing slips through. It's a quote by Lao Tzu. Beep, beep, beep. I must lower the gravity amplifiers. One of the coils are down. I must balance the other coil. Steady, steady. I'm in Earth's orbit. The spacecraft holds strong. Almost there. No! Ah! Sploosh. Are you ready? Are you really ready for this? Creatures, great and small, breathe the air of the blue planet, letting it permeate their blood. They've been prepared for this moment since birth. The strength of resurrection lies within the Mystic Alliance and all it stands for. The sacred law of Elom. The old way has found new life. Behold, schema and DLL. And I can't handle any more of that incredible writing, or that, yeah. What do you think? Should this book have ever even been made? Actually, you know, some of the art's not really that bad. It's very graphic, obviously. But, yeah. I think that's going to do it for the Eternal Mylite Project portion of the show. But now what we've all been waiting for. Which comic will I pick for my cover of the week? It's going to be a rough one. I have Super Western Comics presents Buffalo Bill. Wonderful cover, beautiful art, well done. Don't know about the inside. I haven't not read this yet. I really like this cover though. And next we have Batman Reptilian. Another wonderful cover. Just it makes you go, huh? What's going on with that? Not sure who did the artwork in this one. Well, yeah, I am. It says so on the cover. Liam Sharp. Duh. And then the chat's favorite, or the commenter's favorite, Hulk. By J. Scott Campbell. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to agree with the commenters. It's absolutely, I would buy this one if I saw all three and I only had the room for one. But now I want to look at something that I showed earlier. You can tell that this guy got some influence from Campbell. Or maybe it was the other way around. I don't know. But we're going to say that one's going to be my cover of the week. I'm just not even going to put you in the agony. We're just going to say that. And that's going to be it. Make sure before you handle your comics, your collectibles, your toys, your games, whatever you happen to do, even before you get your cup of coffee. And yes, I have a cup of coffee over the comic. Yeah, how's that? Wash your hands. It's good for your comics, good for your collectibles, good for your health. And we'll see you next video. Bye. Almost forgot. I'm putting a channel in the chat or not in the chat, in the description. I want you to go there, check his channel out. If you're into Hot Wheels, it's got some Hot Wheels videos on there. If you like comics, he shows some comics, some minor keys that you might want to keep your lookout for, because they're not really that expensive at this time. And he will be doing some videos on cleaning and pressing comics. So I think it's worth your time. I think you should go take a look at it. Give him a subscribe. He doesn't have a whole lot of subscribers, so let's give him a subscribe, give him a like, see what we can do to get him up to at least 100. Okay, we'll shoot for 25, okay? Let's get him up to 25 first. 50 would be nice. 100 would be great. And I'll post the link. That's the first item in the description.